I have never heard that from you.
Rimmer!
Let's do it.
Alrighty.
I peed myself. Oh my god.
Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to Smudcast number 224. We're back with some Jilly Bear. What's her face? What the hell's her name again? Jull Bearup.
Marmite.
The Marmite lady. That's all we know her as. But yeah, her YouTube name is Jull Bearup.
Shiny's X.
Jelly Bean McBearup.
Right.
Chinese X. Why would you ever say that?
Why would you ever? Wow, that is.
Wow.
Shiny would.
Wow,
Dude,
that's just like.
That Dorito is
Shiny...
gonna fuck you up.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
Okay.
I know fear.
Listen,
Triangle.
right? Okay. Just because Shani's a triangle British, and all these other problems, you just can't say something.
Triangles have rights. I get it. I get it. Okay.
Okay. Anyway, we did her video. I think last year sometime. I can't remember exactly when. About her defense or analysis, I guess you could say, of The Last Jedi, and it's various stuff in it. I don't know exactly what she was getting at there. It was kind of bizarre. Apparently she liked the choreography of the fight scenes, which is fine. You can say you like something, provided you have good reasoning and history and understanding of what something is good and why and how and all that detail. So,
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say I had a friend who liked the choreography of the Last Jedi fights, but he was also blind, so he was just getting told by the guy sat next to him. So
all right, okay,
it's possible.
Thanks, Hawk. Okay, so she has gone out throughout her channel talking about various fight scenes in all kinds of TV and movies, and how much she loves them, and how they're so great, yada yada yada. It's all positive. It's all fantastic. So. We have stuff like why the Witcher's Blaviken fights are so good, Jack Sparrow versus Will Turner, a perfect pirate fight, Pacific Rim, friendship through fighting. It's just all fight. She loves fighting. We get it. So that's her thing. Now, you could watch one of her videos, and then I welcome you to watch any of the actual HEMA guys on YouTube, any one of them, doesn't matter which, and they will give you an actual analysis of, let's say, pick Last Jedi and why it's good or bad. So,
highly recommend Shadiversity.
Scalagram is really good.
Scalagram
is really good. Very good. There's all kinds of great guys out there on YouTube, been doing it for years. So they actually know what they're talking about. But
I highly doubt this lady knows what she is talking about. I don't. What I said before the stream. I don't have a whole lot of HEMA training, but I have some. And, like, it doesn't take a fucking genius. It doesn't take a master to be able to break down of why TLJ has a terrible fight scene.
It's questionable at most. At worst, it's absolute trash. But, we're not trying to make value judgments here. We're just going to listen to her because she obviously thinks the fighting in The Force Awakens is brilliant. And bad at the same time. I don't know. We're going to hear an argument, I hope. So let's get going. This is 12 minutes long. This will probably take 2.5 hours just because...
It's us.
Because, I don't know, you guys might have some insight into fighting that she doesn't, or, I'm guessing we all do.
Well, you have me on here, so it's going to be tangents nonstop.
All righty. Let's get...
You got me.
Everyone's... I don't know who everyone is in the watch together, but we got all kinds of...
Yeah, we got everybody.
Yeah, everyone's in.
All right.
Hawk, Smug Boy, Backbeads, Moses, and Marquez. What's confusing about that?
Fantastic. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get going. Attention. Joe Crazy, how's it going, Joe? I actually turned off the audio for the super chats so it doesn't annoy anyone. I heard you guys didn't like it. And yesterday was kind of funny because I don't know what the hell happened, and it ended up loading the alerts from the day before that, and I was like, what the hell was that about? So whatever problem happened with my Streamlabs app just reset itself, so hopefully that won't happen again. But you won't get annoyed by Joker popping up on your screen every 10 seconds. So anyway, Joe Crazy, it's bad but brilliant.
Patching it through.
Yeah, that's always nice. Yeah, it does get annoying after a while.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Every single person who picks up a lightsaber in The Force Awakens fights like they've never heard of a guard stance, or if they have, they're not entirely sure about what those are supposed to achieve. And to be honest, that's actually kind of brilliant. Let me tell you why. Since a long
Okay.
Already. Okay, so
Was she referring to the hilt on the lightsaber?
No.
What
Guard
was she
stance
referring
is
to?
like
Guard
it's like a stance.
it doesn't matter if
she's
you don't
referring
have
to the
a.
stance. Okay.
It doesn't matter if you don't have a cross guard. A guard stance is good.
Okay, so
It's not brilliant.
No,
let's go back
No, I
to...
There's no context in which you could frame this as brilliant. But go ahead.
Mark's description of a guard stance is perfect. It's like a
Hey,
guard.
I'm an academic, so my opinions are valid. Okay, I have a degree, so whatever I say is sound.
I have a history degree. Whatever I say is valid.
No, Hawk. He read a book once.
So the problem I have with this statement is obviously we have a person named Kylo Ren who's been training in the Jedi and Sith arts for a long time.
Do we really know that he trained, or maybe he just skipped classes? Because, essentially, he escaped the university. He burned it down.
That's why Luke was trying to kill him, because he was skipping so many classes, and Luke's like, "All right, bitch boy, come on."
Come on, Ben. Your grades have been going down since last semester. Let me look at what you have been up to these days. Oh.
Oh
I'm
no!
impressed, guys. We almost made it to 15 seconds.
Yeah. So,
Almost.
Yeah.
Too bad she said something fucking stupid.
All right, so we get what she's saying. Hopefully she's not referring to Kylo, but if so, then that's dumb. But let's just keep going with that.
long time ago and far, far away, every time characters in Star Wars have picked up their laser swords to go into battle, there has been a lot of comparison, criticism, and probably some other things beginning with C, particularly for the prequel trilogies over how showy they are and over their lack of realism. My name is Jull Bearup, and I recently completed my 7th advanced level stage combat qualification in Tonfa.
In Tonfa, okay, so not lightsabers. Cool. So the prequel fights are actually pretty good. Yeah, there's not a whole lot to really fault the prequel fights for. They're flashy, showy, and everything. But there's not a whole lot of. There's some spinning some spinning in the prequel fights is good. Shad broke this down in his Revenge of the Sith fight, where Anakin spins, but he does a rear guard and guards his back as he spins, and it sets up for another strike. Yeah. Great. There's another spin where he just does not guard his back at all, and he's like, "Yeah, no, that's bad." But those are pretty few and far between.
Also, it's meant to show off the peak of the Jedi and Sith. Skills and everything.
Problems with the prequels was more like that, like there wasn't too much between the characters, like themselves. That like, why do they fight? Like the Maul versus Obi-Wan Qui-Gon fight. Like there wasn't anything between these guys. They were just like good guys, evil guys. You don't have like the motive like in the original trilogy, but like that's like a completely different things. I guess like this is more about the choreography for like the movie itself.
Flashy, showy, fight.
Yeah,
and they're good.
Well, just look at the very first lightsaber fight between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader.
We don't talk about that. That's just that fight is. It's two old guys just swinging sticks at each other. It's like it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
You've seen the scene 38
reimagined? Yes, I have seen it. It's amazing. But just think about it. That made people really excited about lightsaber fight.
Yeah.
Back in the 70s. Crazy.
Yeah.
And now
then we got
someone going, "Ray!" and hitting it like a baseball bat on somebody, and everyone's like, pretty shit.
Which doesn't make sense because in the it can't even keep continuity in their own fucking movies. But in The Last Jedi, Finn kicks the shit out of Phasma. So it's just like odd.
Yeah, but Phasma's a girl, so it doesn't really count.
Even though like Phasma is like much taller and like probably like more well built than Finn.
Also, Finn was slashed in the spine the day prior, so
The back to suit it does wonders.
Yeah.
the back to suit. Yeah, it took Luke days to recover after getting fucked up by a abominable snowman, but Finn, yeah, okay. Slash to the spine.
They've put all their money in the New Republic to healthcare, so
I think
like,
I think
Man,
I
if
think
this is
Joe
socialized
Crazy-
medicine,
I think Joe Crazy likes her ass.
yeah.
If you guys
Yeah,
don't,
So
if you guys don't know what a tonfa is, it's basically a billy club with a 90-degree grip for the stick. It's a short stick, and I think it's a very traditional Japanese weapon. I think, but also
yeah,
used as
it's a good little defensive tool.
yeah. It's
but why the
mostly-
fuck do they have a synthesizer in the background? Okay, thank you for explaining that.
There's
Oh, did you actually hear that? Because I moved away from my mic.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh shit! Oh. Wow. Hey,
Kinda
my
like
neighbors
Donald
turned
Duck
the music down.
sneezing.
I would say use push to talk, but I don't think it's possible. So I'll just.
I was like, oh, I've got a burp. I'll just move as far away as possible from my mic and do it. Wow.
Okay, so she's finished
keep
her
going.
training in tonfa. She's amazing. She knows what she's talking about.
She's not finished it. No, she's not finished it because she's got to get to level 10. She's only level
at
7.
Kansas Community College.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know
Also,
if
that
it was
paint
actually
job
Kansas.
on that wall is
Yeah, it's-
utterly terrible. And
the setting they're in
I would
is-
not learn there.
The setting they're in is not really dojo material. But, all right,
There's a keyboard.
yeah, there you go.
We mentioned it before.
don't
It's
you
okay.
have-
It's okay.
Don't you have keyboards in your dojos?
No.
It's choreography. They're training with the music, so you know you gotta.
Someone has to be the bard in the team.
Who's-
So.
So someone's just in the background playing Duel of the Fates 24/7.
No. It's not Jull Face. It's just sad piano music. All YouTube reviewers learn to fight by sad piano music. So it's just.
All right, let's go.
Oh, we can
If you're
continue.
do it.
interested, my goal is 10 advanced qualifications before the end of the year, because then you can call yourself an actor combatant. And that just sounds awesome. Stage combat or fight choreography
Oh, that's your
is about
motivation.
the creation of theatrical violence. That is to say, the illusion of violence in theatre or film or TV or opera or ballet, for that matter. The precise requirements of each
Violence
medium are
in
different,
opera?
but the general
Oh, yeah.
principles are the same. To further your story when your characters decide that words are no longer sufficient, and to do so without actually harming your performers. Safety in the workplace, kids. Which requires the use of a number of different techniques we're not going to go into today, but the point is to have a series of choreographed moves that look convincing, tell the story that you want to tell, are safe for everyone involved, and preferably can be repeated ad infinitum for the number of takes or the number of shows you have to do. And
I was just led to believe that like the fight was pretty much that like Kylo Ren was like an experienced fighter, while like Rey and Finn were just like inexperienced entirely. So like they were just like trying to just even like defend themselves to begin with.
The narrative should have been they are just trying to fucking survive against this
like
monster.
survivability was just the priority at that, not dueling.
Yeah, the fact that they kick this shit out of Kylo is already just horrifically bad.
It shouldn't have been a fight scene. You know what I mean? It
shouldn't have been a fight scene so much as a oh fuck, oh fuck, oh god, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh god, oh fuck.
It always reminds me of what it should have been like with Red versus
More
Blue
like
before it went
almost like more of an
completely
escape
shit.
sequence.
Yes, yes.
It should have been a chase sequence, and like what Rey was doing was almost like that,
Well-
and then suddenly like it goes into a duel.
The motivation was for Finn to defend Rey because Rey was knocked out by throwing her up a tree like 4 stories and slamming her body down to the ground. So
I remember that.
she should have been out cold for the rest of the day, but no, you give her a few minutes. She's fine.
My dad did that to me during winters when I was 6 years old. Come on, like
Oh, yeah?
didn't you have that? Yeah,
Uh,
just throw you up into a tree.
maybe
like
not
that
4
shit's
stories. Maybe not 4 stories, and then come crashing
It must-
down,
it
hitting
must
all the
just be-
branches.
It's an
Yeah.
Eastern
The
European
breaking
Typical
out.
exercise.
Don't worry.
Yeah, in Canada, we got Everwoods. Yeah, we just climb those trees and fall down 4 stories. No problem.
Oh. Yeah.
No,
In
gravity
England,
works
just,
different on
everyone
circular.
just jumps out of 4-story windows. It's just a natural
Yeah,
thing,
it's
you know.
right. Start the
Circular
day.
base has lower gravity.
Mm.
Because the star that it eats, the photons lift you
Mhm.
up from the star.
Keep
in the
going.
center
Keep going,
of the
Zach.
planet,
You've got this.
and
You've got this.
it
Keep going.
has anti-gravity wells, so
Mhm.
it's totally
Mhm.
believable that she could survive it. Idiot.
Yes. Yeah. Well done.
So there was
We can all
one.
go home now, right?
There was one force push, and that was that. And then they never used the force again in this fight.
For the entire rest of the fight,
It's like that's fun.
Actually,
it's like
you know, actually in fights, what were the actual force powers that were used in these fights?
Oh boy, they grabbed a lightsaber by pulling it towards them,
Force
and that's
pulling
the
it.
big
Yeah.
struggle. Obviously, the one we just discussed, where she threw Rey up a tree. What else was there? Rey says the Force when Kylo mentions it to her.
the fuck.
She gets a power up.
Super
Yeah.
Saiyan.
And
She closes her eyes. She
Do you know? Here's the
There we
thing.
go.
If I saw my
Uses
opponent,
her,
if I saw my opponent close their eyes, I'd be like, okay,
Oh,
She
and I'd
first
use my
closes
sword
her
and
eyes.
stab him. Yeah, I'd move my sword and just stab her in the fucking chest.
She
Just like, okay.
force closes her eyes to make herself stronger.
Force close eyes. DM.
I should have learned that when I watched TLJ to force.
Isn't
close
that
my
like-
eyes.
she has trouble force closing her mouth, so she starts with her eyes
Force
first.
close her eyes first.
That's the only drawback.
That's
like, the
intentional.
mouse
She
gun.
builds her
Throughout
way
the
up
movie.
to force
No,
closing her
that's
mouth.
intentional. No, that's intentional. She's force breathing throughout the movie.
Oh, right.
Well, the
No,
force- the force is come on.
So you
The
just
problem
don't
is,
get it
like,
because
she
you're
had a
stupid. No, you guys just don't get it because you're stupid. She's clearly force breathing, and that's why she gets stronger.
Oh no, I don't get it because I'm racist against women.
Exactly. Exactly.
No,
You're
she had
force
a
breathing.
choice. In the
You're
character
sexist
creations, it was
against black
either
people.
close eyes or close mouth, and she circled close eyes. And so obviously she went down a different leveling up tree. So that's the problem.
all right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad.
I'm Rey Skywalker.
I'm glad her legs healed after she fell that great height and the wind knocked
Heavy
out of
breathing
her.
noises.
Everything's great, so she's fine now. She
Yeah.
can fight.
Everything's fine.
Nanomachine.
I also like the fact that literally a day later she effortlessly beats loads of other people with a lightsaber.
A Praetorian Guard.
No, 3 of them at once. One kick. Like,
24 hours
It was
later.
a force. It was a force kick. You racist.
oh, really? It wasn't. No.
It was a force kick. It's totally
Mhm.
fine.
learned from Luke, none other than.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because he had a thought. Yeah.
It's a reference to Return of the Jedi.
Oh
yeah.
yeah, it's just funny. It's good.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
I want to die.
Francis Board Coppola, thank you, sir.
I
Is
want
she
you to die
Patrick
too,
Williams'
okay.
sister, perhaps? You know what? I wouldn't take it, beyond the realm of believability, but the way she argues,
No.
at least she has like clips. Like, here's me doing things. Like, yeah, that's great, Patrick. You're doing stuff. That's fantastic. And here's-
Patricia.
Well, it's the same with Renegade Cut. He has a reference from a book he talks about. It's like, here's a reference from the book I just mentioned. It's like, that's nice. How does that have to do with
Here's a
Home Alone?
reference from a book I was reading while I was in South Korea, teaching English.
There you go.
Yeah, he's great. All right.
Yeah,
Let's
great,
get,
like a gunshot to the temple.
let's get back on track with Jill's explanation here.
The creation of those fights is what you hire your fight choreographer for. So let's set the scene.
No.
The big
He
lightsaber
makes the
fight
suit.
in The Force Awakens is Kylo Ren versus Finn and then Rey. Kylo Ren has just killed his dad, Han Solo, spoiler for a 4-year-old movie, and subsequently
fuck
been
off.
shot in the
Get on
kind
with
of
it.
left-hand torso area. So it goes. Rey tries
Yeah,
to
he's
shoot
gonna
Kylo.
die.
He force pushes her into a tree. Vader picks up the blue lightsaber. Kylo gets grievously injured. The lightsaber flies off. Kylo attempts to get it back. But wait! Rey force pulls it over to her and the fight is on until Rey uses the force properly and slashes him in the face, and then the ground breaks up. Our heroes escape. The end. The thing
So
So
wait a
her
second.
argument is that when she closes her eyes, that's her using the Force.
Yeah, but
A
she's using
literal
the force
Deus Ex Machina save.
properly. What does that mean? You close your eyes and use
I
the
don't
force
know.
properly?
I don't know.
Well,
what
it's
that
a
is.
reference to when Luke wore the helmet and blocked the blaster shots. Do you guys remember that?
I remember
No.
Star Wars.
I
I've
don't.
seen
Star
remember.
Wars.
Sorry, Zach, I don't remember. I was too busy clapping because I saw a lightsaber. Yeah, woo!
Star Wars.
Okay.
I hate these movies so much, and I hate everyone trying to defend them.
It's okay to say that.
So guys, using the force, all you do is close your eyes and use it, and then you're
Close.
But see, this was another example of when people that make videos like this say things like that as if they're a given that doesn't need to be explained. She just briefly cut to Rey closing her eyes, and she's like, so she uses the Force properly, and then she just continues talking. She doesn't go back and explain operationally what that means.
The closest thing I can
Yeah.
think of is when Luke takes the shot on the Death Star, and he's forced to focus and feel when's a good time to fire, and he sort of intuitively knows. Like, that's part of the Force, sure, but it's not like she just knows that, or how she could know that. You can't just say, "Do you know nuclear fission?" and you close your eyes and go, "I know nuclear fission," and then you can't just do that.
I know Kung Fu.
As if you're in the Matrix or something. You just download it into your brain.
Yeah. Also,
Remember
before
when I saw
people
The
start
Matrix,
saying,
that's
"Yeah,
what I
but
was
she was a Palpatine in Force Awakens," she wasn't a Palpatine. So let's just,
Oh yeah,
Pop out.
you know,
the retroactive
Let's-
argument. Yeah.
yeah.
That's
It's like,
great.
yeah, let's just ignore that. shall
But
we?
it's not
like,
even but the retroactive argument doesn't even prove anything because that's not how it works.
She had special
yeah.
blood in her that made her do stuff that she couldn't understand. It's like, really? When did this happen?
mm.
It's like,
Most
how
people
does
got
it-
special
when
blood.
does
Usually-
when has
usually
that
got
ever
AIDS,
been how the
so-
Force works? You had Force Jesus in
Mhm.
episode 1. Force Jesus, and he needed years and years of training to use the Force.
Yeah.
Oh, but Rey's different. That's it's like, no.
Because it's a dyad.
You
The
don't
thing we
just get to
made up.
disregard 6 movies of how a thing works.
Even if we don't like Force Jesus, I like the idea that they introduced a child that had some innate gifts towards making stuff, like building robots and understanding mechanical engineering and putting things back together. Like, that's okay. A kid who likes puzzles, who likes stuff like that, would get into that sort of thing. That's believable. That's not like some magical power that he had. He's just good with it. Combine that with then the training of, not the training, but the racing of the pod racer. So he has these natural aptitudes as to other things like reflexes. Because that pod race is just insane. For a kid to do that is just like a death wish. It's not even remotely
Well, it
a safe
is a
idea.
death wish. Every other person
Yeah.
dies in that race.
Except for the kid. Thanks, Qui-Gon. Brilliant deduction
Another
there.
thing to build on that point is that a child that's really good at putting puzzles together is a common trope in movies.
Mhm.
So it's not out of the realm of, like, we very
Yeah,
quickly
but,
accept it.
Ray put a puzzle together when she bypassed the compressor.
Yeah, but Ray's a bitch.
That's
I bypassed the compressor!
I bypassed the compressor. Han Solo's like, get the fuck off my
That's-
ship.
that's
My
the-
God,
Why
the
are
engines
you- why
are,
are
the
you
engines are
touching
failing.
things?
Oh my God.
That's the,
Where my fairy dice?
That's the equivalent of, let's say you overclocked your computer. You don't know how to calm it down. It gets hotter and hotter and hotter. And then someone walks in and just rips out the GPU and goes, "Look, I cooled down your
bypassed the
computer."
overheating process.
No, someone just comes around, smashes your screen, and goes like, "Yeah, it solved your problem." It's like, okay,
So that'll be $300.
That'd be $300. That'd be $350.
That'll be $300 or your kneecaps.
I'm Ray.
I'm Ray.
Ray Bailiff.
All right, 2 minutes in, we're doing well.
Are we?
Do it.
25 minutes, 2 minutes. That's a good ratio. I like that number. Let's do.
The thing is, if you know something about actual fighting, the conclusion you come to from watching these characters
Actual
fight with
fighting.
lightsabers is that
As opposed to choreography fighting.
So there's a way that you can do
Hawk is the
choreography.
master here.
You can do choreography and make it look like real fighting.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
difficult, but it's very achievable. It's very doable. And if you give a fuck, you will do it.
no, what you should say is you make it look like it could be real fighting, because real fighting is not what people think it is. Real fighting quickly descends into a lot of grappling and over arm punches. That's what fighting actually descends into. It's not like what you see in the movies.
Right. This is why we see these wonderful MMA fights with Tai Chi masters or whatever kinds of faux martial arts. There are martial arts, but they're not designed for fighting, whereas MMA is designed specifically for fighting. So you see a lot of these.
Yeah, well, look at a boxing movie and then actually watch boxing.
Right.
And you can see massive. It's like, wow, okay, the boxing movies. I honestly can't take them seriously because you've got these people who are literally just getting punched in the face like 10 or 12 times around, and you're like, defense, just put a defense up. Also, everyone always does a straight hook, whereas in actual boxing, most of the time, it doesn't look like the punches do any damage whatsoever to the people. So, yeah. Anyway.
There's a lot of boxing movies out there, even from the 60s with Marlon Brando, so you can see that the skill level is not quite as realistic as it could be, depending on the boxers of the time. What was the other one with, what's the other great actor? Raging Bull. The hell? Damn it. Robert De Niro. My great granddad was a boxer, and his response to he went to see Rocky. It came out. He went, Rocky's a fucking retard because any man who actually gets punched in a boxing ring shouldn't be a professional boxer. Well,
your goal isn't to get hit.
Yeah, he just wanted to not fall down, and I was like, okay, that's an interesting strategy. I mean, you could try winning, but I guess
no, it's don't fall down. No. If you're in that situation, you fucking just fall down, man. You're gonna die.
You're up against a heavyweight. What are you doing, sir? Take it easy.
Yeah, but my great guy was like, "No, this is what I told my granddad because I never got to meet him." But he never went and saw another boxing movie because he went, "No, these people, there's no defense. They're not guarding themselves. They're not going for body shots. It's just." He goes, I've seen better fighting than John Wayne westerns. It's like these.
Those are good though. Those are actually good. The John Wayne fights, the actual gunfights.
There's plenty of body shots, but he doesn't block.
Usually, when you watch heavyweight fights, depending on the weight class or the actual weight of these fellows, it's kind of like really big dudes slowly whittling themselves away, like depending on the strategy of the fighter, but.
Yeah, there's a lot of tactics in boxing.
It's slow. Yeah, it's not like this massive explosion like Mike Tyson or something. That's sort of his own thing.
Yeah, that's why Mike Tyson, even Mike Tyson though, if you actually watch his fights, everyone always remembers the one where he bites what's his name's ear off. But even his other stuff, if he couldn't beat him really quickly, he'd change his tactic to more slower stuff. So,
and it's it's just an endurance match that's just like they're always hanging off each other. They're exhausted. It's a very taxing.
If you see a boxing match go to 12 rounds, it's like
wow.
Okay.
Another thing with the Rocky movies is that they do often have round skips and montages where it implies that there are parts of the fight that didn't have as much action and that we're not showing those parts to you.
Yeah, I know about, but the fact that they're skipping rounds and they're going higher and higher, and then they do all this other stuff into the later rounds, you're like, no, this is not how a lot of boxing fights go. They usually just descend into.
Well, yeah, but then that would just be boring.
Oh well, yeah, I know, I understand why they do it. I'm just saying, like, when you talk about fight choreography, if anyone says, "Oh, it's to make it look as realistic as possible," it's like, no, it's to make it look as plausible as possible to be entertaining. Because realistically,
I would agree with that.
These fights are, fights are. You don't get much fun at it. Go onto YouTube and look up like street camera, epic fights or something, like street fights or whatever. They're usually one punch things done and dusted, or they descend into grappling. So yeah, that's what I mean. So it's choreography is there to make it as plausible as possible while still being entertaining. So yeah, that's my position on it. We can move on.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Okay. All right, Scoop.
But none of them seem to be particularly good at fighting with lightsabers, specifically. And this is underlined by the fact that, as far as I can see, nobody takes a guard stance for basically the entirety of the fight. What do I mean? Okay. If you have a sword in your hand, or hands for that matter, it is generally advised, let's go with generally advised, that you take a fighting stance. Which is to say, you bend your knees, you have 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, but not directly behind the other one. You center your weight in the middle, you keep your back straight, and in general, you point your sword at your opponent. There are some stances where you don't do that. So for example, these stances for longsword, you're not actually pointing the tip of your blade at your opponent. But there's generally a reason or a rationale behind that. You don't just stand there. Why? Because it doesn't matter if your sword is relatively heavy or if it's light and whippy, it takes time and momentum to move it from one position to another. So if you have a sword, the first stance you are taught is the one where you are pointing your sword at your opponent. And in stage combat, when you learn to fight with a single sword, you are taught to point the sword at the chest of your partner. Now, it makes sense for Rey and...
Okay, so that's the general understanding. There's lots of different swords of how you hold them, and techniques and schools of thought of how to fight, especially in Japan. We've seen all kinds of different historical accounts of schools and what they teach people and how these things are working. So yes, this is true. There's even the II strike, which is thrust from the sheath. I don't know why they do that, but I think that's a technique they appreciate, and it's an art form. So there's all kinds of different techniques on how to hold and fight with a sword. So generally speaking, she's correct. So that's fine.
Yeah, I'm just kind of quiet because she hasn't really said anything wrong.
Yep. Taker 610.
Surprisingly sane.
Yeah, it was good. Shad said sword fights should be very brief. Yeah, they're swords.
Mm-hmm.
You cut someone, they go ow, or I'm dead. That's pretty much how it goes.
That's why those
that's
really old
boring.
like samurai movies have done it really well. That I think the fights are just half a minute long at best.
Yeah, but that's boring. I would like to...
For you, yeah, okay. Moving on.
Yeah, boring
Finn,
is
who only
subjective.
picked up a lightsaber in the course of this film, not to be au fait with the finer points of lightsaber combat, but Kylo Ren, should he know
he also
better?
used a
Kylo Ren's
lightsaber
big
longer
dramatic
than
stance
Rey.
What did you
is-
say? She said?
Well, his feet are apart, I guess. His legs are sort of bent, yeah, but his sword is just hanging down at his side there, right?
It's
And Finn has
intimidating. He's trying to
blasters, and
intimidate
at least
Finn.
one
Yeah,
of
and
them has a
also
lightsaber. You'd think he'd want to be using his
No,
lightsaber
they
to
don't
threaten
have
them,
their lightsabers
since
drawn at this
the whole
point.
point of him being there is to stop them from escaping. Well, yes and no, but hold that thought. Finn picks up Luke's lightsaber. Big character moment. Dramatically ignites it. We're gonna have
and
to
then
zoom
he
out.
points
and this is also not a very useful stance. First, because it's a laser sword near your face, which I don't know
It's
if
an
they're
inexperienced
hot, but
person
they're certainly
holding a
bright, so are you
weapon.
not
He's a
obscuring
Also,
the
that's-
vision?
holding a
And second,
lightsaber,
laser's
so
not
it's-
perpendicular,
also,
so it's
that's not a
particularly
terrible
useful to set you
stance.
up to do an easy cut. It's also not nearer your opponent
But what is
than
stupid
you
is that he
are,
even
so
stood
it's
a
not
chance.
threatening
That's
them,
what
and
is
it's not doing
stupid.
anything to keep them away. And when Rey picks up the lightsaber, exactly the same thing. If this were real life, here are a
God.
couple of stances which might work better.
Okay, so again, inexperienced people, they've never held a lightsaber before. And furthermore, that is not a terrible stance.
Is this like
also,
lady doesn't
Finn-
understand that
Finn
like if you're
has-
like okay.
I'm going to say Finn has actually held the lightsaber before in the movie.
Well, one time, but he got like beaten
but he-
down
but
by
he-
the
yeah, but
small
he-
trooper.
Yeah, but
Would you like me to
I know, but he
rephrase?
still-
Never held a lightsaber before this day.
It was before this day. I'm just saying,
there are many ways that
He
Kylo
used
Ren
it.
could hold his blade, and if he's as experienced as we think he is, I don't really care. I really, if it's off to his side, if it's in front of him, even the way that they swing the lightsabers doesn't make sense. They're swinging it like it's a club. This thing is
it's like a baseball bat. Yeah.
This thing is an extremely deadly object. If you touch it, you will lose whatever you're touching. You are going to eviscerate your foe. You don't need energy to swing this thing. You just need to poke something with it as quickly and swiftly as possible, like it's a fencing sword. Like that's probably the best example I could think of. You just tap someone with it.
Banderas says in Mask of Zorro, the pointy end goes into the other guy, and it's like, that's all you need to know.
With a lightsaber, it's all scary, deadly, melty. You don't go
Everything
near it.
other than the saber is butter.
Yes, you touch it, you melt. If you decide to cut something, it will go through it. Like steel is nothing to a lightsaber. It might slow it down a bit.
Yeah.
Or Durasteel, whatever the metal is in Star Wars.
That's Scar.
I think yeah.
Alright, shut the fuck up, Zach. Don't
So when they start swinging,
ever use that sort of language,
like they're doing
on a podcast ever
kendo
again.
or they're doing like it's a
Your
katana.
podcast.
If they're doing stuff like that, it always looks awkward because like, okay, this is not Highlander. You're not swinging like bastard swords and katanas around.
So this is a big criticism I have with every Star Wars movie, and this one doesn't get a pass. Obviously, these things are very light. It's essentially like holding a mag light in your hand, and you're not going to feel the blade should not have any weight. At least that is my understanding of lightsabers. What JJ wanted to do, this is from like director's commentary and stuff, but what he wanted to do was he wanted the lightsabers to have weight, like the old school movies where they basically had like the handle and a metal rod, and they just rotoscoped the lightsaber blade over the metal rod. That was a limitation of the time, and Lucas always wanted these blades to be weightless. That's why everything is very swooshy, very fast, very choreographed in the prequels, because he had the technology to do that, and they had carbon fiber blades at that time. So this is ridiculous to even have this in the sequel trilogy, where they're just wildly swinging these things around like clubs. No, these things should be weightless. That's just my criticism of it.
But
I think it's another thing that they didn't have the same philosophy as Lucas. They clearly didn't have the same philosophy as Lucas. It just shows.
Yes, I agree, and I would have preferred these fights to actually mean something. This was all just very, very frustrating.
Like if they were attacking, that door that they get blocked in the prequels, where they start cutting through the door.
Yes.
Yeah.
In Phantom Menace,
Yeah, that requires, you would need some like maybe a wind up to swing at the door, or you just start slowly cutting through it. If you're fighting a person, there's no need for winding up or accelerating the arc of your blade. It's just touch the guy. Just goes.
There's literally a scene where as Qui-Gon's going slowly through it, and the entire door is melting around it. It's like that goes anywhere near a human, you're just gonna have your face melt off.
Well, that does make sense. So I'm a fucking
I know that.
Nerd. So the heat is contained within the lightsaber blade, but like when it's melting through a door, obviously the heat is transferring through the metal. So it's perfectly reasonable that the rest of the door would start to melt around it. That's fine.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not.
It's like, oh my god! Like you see the power that is actually behind these lightsabers.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, that's what I mean. What I'm saying is, I'm not saying this. Oh, that's wrong. I'm just saying like, wow, these things are incredibly powerful. It's like
I love how like
Jesus
even when you
Christ.
two agree, you like find ways to argue about how much you agree with each other.
Yeah, that's the way we are.
Yeah.
Healthy relationship.
Don't agree with me there, Zach. But it's just
No, fuck. All right, look, the way we agree is
it's perfectly fine. It's just that Zach is sometimes wrong in the way he agrees with me.
No, it can be problematic sometimes. Hawk, a lot of stuff is just lost in translation because he's a lemmy little British twat. And
So this is why
Zach is a Yankee cunt, so it's perfectly fine.
Yeah, there we go.
This is why the depiction of Dooku, at least in the Clone Wars, because he has a more fencing style of
He has
fighting.
my favorite fighting style, and he has my favorite lightsaber.
Really? That's your favorite?
Yeah,
It's
I like
a
the way
longer
it's
one.
bent. Yeah, it's bent.
Yeah.
So it makes it where he can flick his. I think they showcased this in the comics.
Well, they
How he can
showcased this
flick
in
his wrist in a way that makes him more likely to disorient the opponent, get around their lightsaber, like circle around it, like he's fencing, and slice their wrist.
Yeah.
They actually showcased that in the Obi-Wan fight. In his Obi-Wan fight, he actually just tapped. Yeah, he just tapped Obi-Wan's arm and leg with just very quick flicks. Yeah. And it took Obi-Wan out immediately. All he did was tap him. Didn't, like, cut his arm off. No, he just tapped him, and it took Obi-Wan out. It's just like, oh my god.
Because the way it is I think he, you know how it's bent near the bottom? I think he has his hand lower than other people have their hands on their sabers, so that the saber is bent upward a little bit.
But,
which allows him to use his wrist instead of his arm. And I also like the minimal. I also like the less is more approach. Like I like how it's the most minor modification we've seen in a lightsaber, but how significant that modification is. I really like it.
I wonder how like amazing it would have been doing those scenes with Christopher Lee, knowing that this man had killed people before.
Oh yeah, he had like
legally killed people.
Right, so
yeah.
Ken Kaneki, objectively wrong. Lightsabers are heavy, which is why only trained Force users can use them properly. Are you fucking insane?
But the object itself was very heavy, like the prop itself that they used for the old.
The prop was
original
heavy. The
trilogy.
lightsabers themselves are not heavy.
Supposedly not, yeah. And Zach confirmed it because, like, Lucas himself said it. So.
Yeah, literally every single time you see a non-lightsaber user in different things, they usually are swinging it one-handed as well.
Wait, the hilt is very heavy. Okay, and?
Yes, the hilt has weight. Yes, the hilt has weight. Yes,
I agree.
There is weight in that hilt.
Right.
Yes.
The thing is, when you actually have a rod or a sword in your hand, you can feel the weight as you move it through space. And there was I think Shad made an argument about Goblin Slayer, the first episode, where there was that guy who had a long sword, and he starts swinging it above his head, and he hits the ceiling of the cave because the sword is so long. Like, that is a really dumb thing to do, but that's kind of the point of the scene. But that should never have happened anyway, because you would know, oh, I'm in a cave. If I even behind my back, if I start swinging a sword, I'll be able to figure out I'll hit something, just because I know where I am.
Yeah.
I have eyeballs, and I know that. You know,
in that situation, you are literally using the longsword as almost a spear.
You should be using it as a spear, yeah, not as a sword, like a swinging weapon or whatever. So anyway, the most ideal way to use a lightsaber would be as a fencing weapon, and that is like. If you ever watch fencing in the Olympics, so they're very, very getting that touch. That's all it is. Because all it takes is a touch. So, Anyway,
little tap.
Better if this were real life and not space fantasy. But for a movie, and particularly for a Star Wars movie, this is the perfect stance. And similarly,
why?
Not necessarily the perfect stance.
No.
It's fine. It's not a terrible stance to be in.
You cannot now say it's all make believe, so it's perfectly fine, and then try and use real life. No. That's not how an argument works.
Well, yeah, that argument doesn't work anyway.
I think that she's just going to say that it looks heroic. That's all. That's acceptable.
If
that's what she says.
If it looks heroic, I can give a shit whether it looked like fucking Mahatma Gandhi with a machine gun. Honestly, it's not a good stance. It means nothing.
So
you can look heroic and still die. So
that stance that they're in is not a terrible stance. It's fine. Even for an inexperienced user, it's fine. It's not the best. It's not the worst. It's fine. Even Shad has said many times, it doesn't matter whether this is space fantasy or not. Death is still death. These are still swords.
Yeah.
They cut you, die. It doesn't fucking matter. Like, a guard position is still a guard position. A strike is still a strike. Death is still death. So,
Yeah,
space fantasy, that argument can just go right out the window.
Yeah.
And if she bases anything on that, it's wrong.
Why is it always space fantasy when it does something wrong, but a perfect representation of real life things when it does something right in their eyes? That's what always gets me.
Yeah, this is just I can already tell this is going to be a bad argument, but
Mhm.
That stance that Kylo Ren takes at the start of the fight, beautiful. Wonderful. Because the fact that it's not technically correct is much, much less important than the story it tells.
How the fuck, dude, you don't even need to go into technical aspects of that. He's just standing there. Neither of them have their weapons drawn. He's just standing there yelling at them.
Yeah, he's like, yeah. Also, he's just like, yeah, he's just got his sword. He's like, just give it to me. I'm going to threaten you. Oh, you want to fight? Right, well, I better get into a stance to get ready.
Oh my god, dude. Even when she's right, she's wrong. God damn it.
It's like, I don't walk into a room with my sword out in a guard position, ready. It's like, no, I have to get to the position. I have to get to the place first.
Like, we need to get to the fight part first.
Yeah, he's about, what,
yeah.
5-6 meters away, maybe 7 meters away. He's got plenty of room time to pick up the sword in a certain position. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, he's like, yeah. He could, like, by the time Finn gets over there, he could literally sit down, get the morning newspaper out, have a cup of tea. Oh, you've made it. Oh, excellent. Right, I'll get ready. He's got plenty of time.
I swear to God, if she says thematic, like symbolism, emotional resonance, any of that shit, I'm gonna lose it.
So I actually don't disagree with her statement that the story the movements tell is more important than the realism of the choreography, but I don't think that that really applies here, because I think she's kind of overshooting how much meaning is in these movements.
I would tentatively disagree with you.
No, this is literally him just getting to this spot. He's just arrived. As in, like, he's pushed Rey away, he's walking over and Finn's walking over. He's not, getting ready for a fight.
Let me interject real quick. I would tentatively disagree with you, Yokai. If the mechanics of a fight don't work, then the emotional or thematic sentiments can fall flat.
All right.
But yes, I will agree that you can do both. You can have the mechanics of a fight work well with the themes and the story that is being told. It's when one overtakes the other is when you can draw problems. You can have the mechanics work too well, and then the fight's just over. And it's like, well, okay, that was anticlimactic, I guess.
I think we all agree that both stances that Finn and Rey take are believable because they don't know what the heck they're doing. And that's totally fine with their character. So we don't care.
And furthermore, it's not terrible. It's fine.
It's fine, yeah.
Yeah, it's just,
Also, for a lightsaber, that is more than fine because you can very quickly go to a low,
because I was on the opposite. This is really funny because I was on the opposite side of this argument 2 days ago with Glib.
That stance is perfectly fine because you can very quickly transition to a low, high, mid guard. It's a very defensive stance. It's fine. It's also reasonable that someone just now picking up a lightsaber for the first time would take that stance. So it's fine.
Yeah.
And I don't agree with calling it bad.
It's a bad stance. It's just not bad in the concept of them using it.
No, I'm making the argument that it is not a bad stance. It's not the greatest stance to be in. Typically, you would want to point your sword at the guy, right?
Yeah,
you want to have a low, mid, high guard.
To a trained person, it is a bad stance. But to an untrained person, it is just a stance. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Let's see what she says next.
Honestly, like, she also said, like, this is the best stance for Star Wars, but, like, every single character that we have seen in the other movies have, like, a different defense stance.
Shad said sword sword fights should be very brief. No, he likes the choreography of like longer fights.
Yeah.
Realistic sword fights should be very brief, but he has stated many times that he very much enjoys the choreography and the entertainment value behind these fights, as long as they work mechanically.
Mm-hmm.
Carry on.
Mm-hmm.
Why these character fighting has been set up already. We know what's going on, we know the stakes. The point of the fight is not just to resolve that tension, it's also to tell us things about the characters. We want it to move the plot forward, but we also want to learn things about these people that we're going to be spending another 2 movies with.
You've said that
also,
twice
tells
now.
us the goods, but I'll get back to that.
So you know what would be a great way of doing that? Losing the fucking fight.
Yep. Have them be, oh fuck, oh god, oh fuck, oh god, oh fuck, gotta get away. But no, I guess we don't.
Because the character that we have been following throughout the entire movie, and then that character is winning, is not really telling us anything new. In fact, it's just gonna be leaving us with empty-handed, just as the entirety of this fucking movie did.
To be honest with you, what's ironic is the character we've actually been following, which was Finn, gets his spine cut out, pretty much. It's like, oh no, and then it's like Ray wins. You're like, actually, I don't know what happens with Finn, because.
And you know what's funny? If they really wanted them to win this fight, they could have just had Kylo Ren basically go Super Saiyan after losing it. You can still do it, and then give the villain a call to action. You can do that. Like you don't have to not do it. But they didn't even make him stronger after losing. So it's like there was no point. There was just no room for growth. You can give the villain room for growth if you want. You can do that, because you can do anything with writing. Yeah. But they didn't do that. You know?
Wait, what?
And then that's the end of my point.
Where was Kylo's training and rehabilitation regiment? Where he's like, oh, I suck. I gotta get better.
Last Jedi.
Didn't have any. He spent all his money and training credits on a bunch of chimpanzees to fix his mask.
No, because Snoke said killing Rey would finish his training.
Yeah.
After he said killing his dad.
That one single scene in TLJ when his face is being fixed up. That's it. I don't think there's anything else. He looks pretty okay. Like, how the fuck did he even escape from there? Like in the middle of the film?
Because I actually, now that I think about it, I have seen that before. I couldn't give you the name of the movies or shows, but I have seen this before, where there was a primary villain and a secondary villain, and the primary villain saw the secondary villain lose, and then made them do something permanent to their body that made them stronger. I've seen that done multiple times. I don't know. I don't remember. But my point is, I've seen that done, where the major bad guy who has like an apprentice or something, they're like, okay, you lost. Now we're going to make you go Super Saiyan fucked up. And then you're going to go back and you're going to win and it's going to be a problem. And then they do that. And then the hero has a call to action again. That's been done. They could have done that too.
Yeah, but then Rey would have to actually do something.
Yeah.
If you're gonna have the world
we can't
split,
have our super strong, amazing woman actually lift a finger and actually bother and do anything.
Yeah, if you're gonna save either one, regardless of who wins the fight, let Rey lose, because the world's gonna split them apart regardless. She's like on the dying end. She's on the losing side, and then all of a sudden, boom! Deus Ex comes out of nowhere to save her. We got to keep her alive for the next movie.
Yeah, because the fight itself is really redundant, because like the rebels have already like initiated the destruction sequence of the planet itself, so the super weapon is going to be destroyed anyway. So Rey could have had a escape.
Yeah, that's why it should have been more of an escape, not a duel.
Yeah, it would have made more sense.
Yeah, it seems really bad.
It's like Luke shoots a Death Star and then lands on the Death Star and has a lightsaber fight with Darth Vader, and then it blows up and Luke gets away.
Wins the fucking fight with Darth Vader.
Yeah, wins the fight with Darth Vader, and then before he can kill Darth Vader, because he blew up the Death Star, it's like cracking up and it separates, and Vader just floats into space on a bit of a Death Star. It's like, cool. It's like, no, please stop. This scene is rubbish. Please stop.
I'm still weighing why this scene is brilliant.
Almost halfway through the video. Almost halfway through, and she's still yet to make a point.
Okay. I trust you, Zach.
She's stood in her back garden a couple of times, so that's interesting.
Yeah, she's still yet to actually make a point. So.
I will say, my friend's got decking like she has, and it's pretty crap. So don't buy that sort of decking. Decking,
huh?
Yeah.
Decking.
The wood she stood on. It's called decking.
Right. So it's a deck.
Yeah. You seem very strange when I said decking. You're like, a deck? But yeah.
I've never heard decking before. It's just a deck.
It's decking.
Alright.
That's the wood's called decking. No, it doesn't matter. I'm just saying.
You two are like a married couple.
Well, probably yes.
Probably.
It's a what? A decking?
Yeah. What? Don't complain about me because British people have got a word for the wood they put on their back garden. At least you've got gardens. What's your garden like, Zach?
I don't have one because I live in an apartment.
Yeah, okay. Carry on.
First, it gets you close into the character's face. It sells you what you came here to see. It gets you right into that medium shot and then that close-up.
That's a camera angle. It's nothing to do with the stance.
That's cinematography. So what's that got to do with choreography? Yeah. Cool. They could literally have done Princess Bride, Smud, when he gets ready to fight, what was it, the six-fingered man? And he gets ready and then runs away. So, yeah, cool. It's zoomed in on Finn, and all he does is runs off into the woods. So, yeah, so that zoom-in shot means nothing. Like Mark says, it's just a trailer shot.
This is so worthless.
I think like that shot with Finn was literally in the trailer. Like I'm not sure.
It actually was in the trailer.
Like that was like the way they advertised this goddamn movie, that like Finn is going to be the new Jedi. I was like, this looks new.
Yeah,
like, Stormtrooper going to be the main character and turning into Jedi. It's a lot more interesting than Scavenger.
Woman, then orphan on a desert planet, finding out who they are and becoming a Jedi.
Wow, I haven't seen that before.
I haven't seen that before. Well, I think literally that trailer came out, and as Disney was celebrating, like the black-suited Chinese agents walked into the main office and said, "No."
Can we minimize this black man?
It's like he's black. No.
We have these camps, and we would give you rent. You can rent these lands for filming a new one.
Yeah. Do you want to remake? Do you want to remake a movie? We'll give you some
a Chinese cartoon.
Yeah.
Thank you, concentration camps.
That's a phrase.
Thank you, concentration. Thank you, concentration camp guards, for keeping the prisoners quiet while we filmed.
That has to be like the most eventful day in their lives. Like, hey, look, it's Mulan. Oh,
look, it's Mulan. Who said you could talk?
Disney.
Well, I guess more Disney. We're progressive. Just pay no attention to the concentration camps actually committing genocide. Anyway, sword stances.
Their eyes, their expressions, their emotions, all that good stuff.
I don't
because
care.
If it is vertical, you don't have to worry about stabbing the camera.
Yeah, yeah.
The big tube of polycarbonate.
Have you ever thought of
stupid?
You can push right in.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can do that.
You can with anyone.
Put the camera off to the side. Look at this. Look at this shot. It's off to an angle. You can just zoom in right here if he's just aiming the sword forward. In fact, you even did that with Kylo Ren. He's aiming his sword forward, and you still got a close-in shot of his eyes. God damn you!
So you're telling me a guy pointing a sword, you can't zoom into that guy's face because your camera will hit the sword? Have you thought about CGI the sword into the person's hand.
God damn you!
This is
suck.
fucking
Because
mind blowing.
you've got the technology to do that. I don't understand.
Just be like, you suck.
How zooming into her face is impossible because the lightsaber will poke the camera. No. No. That is no. Listen, I don't make movies, but I'm pretty sure
even you can figure this out.
Yeah,
Listen, Hawk,
you don't.
Hawk, you cannot criticize this until you go make a movie yourself.
I'm going to make myself a movie where all it is zooming into people's faces holding swords, pointing towards the camera.
Like,
just...
yeah. Like neither did I did any camera work in my life, but like I have done plenty of 3D animations, and like the first fucking thing you do is like position the camera, like the 3D camera, on the model itself, and like that doesn't take too much intelligence.
The camera. You could just take Finn, zoom into him, right, and then you can then have cuts where he's holding the sword in between the zoom. It's called editing.
I can't believe that she's explaining
It's
this.
such a dumb fucking point to make.
This is like saying like, well, we have to be careful because the camera might have had snow on it on the planet, and I'm like, there's no.
Or like something like you might have to like recharge the camera later. Like, oh no, so we have to like film this in time.
I bet it must have cost a lot. I bet it must have cost a lot of money for the tickets to actually travel to the massive space station to film there on location. Yes. I just fucking. Also, if this is an argument, how much do you think those dinosaurs cost to get in the wild for Jurassic Park?
Training them, domesticating them,
domesticating them. Oh Jesus Christ!
Dinosaur milk.
You wouldn't understand.
You've
never made a movie. I wouldn't expect a chud like you to understand.
Zooming into a fucking fake. All right, let's go.
All right, here is taker 610. Thank you, sir. Ray gets thrown against an effing tree, and she's fine. Oh yes, I know. It's a very silly thing.
Yeah, but it's not. But it's not even a real tree. It's a fake tree. But you know, just.
God, I would not expect you chuds to understand filmmaking.
Here is Roxas Uzi. The last good thing to happen to Star Wars were the two Force Unleashed video games starring Vader's secret apprentice. I think the latest video game is pretty decent.
The first one was.
Yeah.
The first Force Unleashed is good. The second one, I didn't hear that much good things about it, but considering
I've never even played it, how would you know?
I thought they were both damn good, and I think this new Star Wars game is damn good.
Okay, play Force Unleashed. Then. Don't at me, Zach. Jesus. Anyway, but but I'm just saying that I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jedi Fallen Order is okay. Nothing great, nothing fantastic, nothing.
I love it. I think it's really good.
But compared to the rest,
few hundred hours
Star Wars. Yeah.
I think a lot of people that say it isn't that good do have valid points.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't.
I myself think it's really, really good.
I don't think I've heard anything damning about it other than it's bland. I've played through it enough times I think I could make a decent objective argument for it, but it's fine. It's perfectly serviceable. It's nothing terribly wrong with it.
All right, almost halfway done.
Have that dramatic lighting, and this is particularly true in the new movies where they have the self-lighting blades. Side note, love the self-lighting blades, and they must make rotoscoping and lighting the scene so much easier. Third, it looks fighty but defensive. It's back. It's not
fighty but defensive.
Wait, she's saying it looks defensive, but at the beginning of the video she was talking about the lack of defensive stances.
Yeah, that was supposedly a bad thing in all the other movies, but now because it looks fighty, that doesn't look fighty. That looks like you've opened up a Christmas present from your grandma and got the lightsaber, and you're like, yay! And you're posing for a picture for the family album.
So it's a
Tell me
bad,
I'm wrong.
it's a bad fighty stance, guys, but it's okay. It's like, what?
Yeah, but at least she can zoom the camera into their face.
See, look,
So that's
you can zoom in just like this. That's gonna be a new emote.
It's just, why is it whenever anybody tries to defend anything from these sequel trilogies, they just go into such bollocks?
I know that a lot of professional cameras have digital zoom, and I understand that you only want to use that as a final contingency because it could result in blurring, but a lot of cameras have filters against that.
Yeah, but we're talking about a multi-million-dollar filming project.
That's what I'm saying. Come on.
Yeah, but this isn't Bob and Trev at like the park making Buckethead and Bagface, like a YouTube video stuff. This is J.J. Abrams. Yeah. Oh, what did he spend? Did he spend all the money on lens flares? He couldn't afford.
And that's why that one point, I don't remember who it was. It was one of you guys that said, which I imagine you were referring to, probably as what I'm about to say is when you do the digital zoom, if you get the blur, you can CG it to correct the blur. You can
literally CG it. Yeah. It's called an editing process, which happens at the end of filming. Well, at the end of filming and stuff. So
I'm kind of surprised they didn't do that though, because of how over the top all the other special effects are.
Oh, it cost that much money. They had plenty of money. They CG'd fucking Carrie Fisher into a bloody movie, so you got plenty of money to throw at it.
Yeah.
If JJ literally asked for an extra $2 million to help with one zoom image to CG it, I'm sure Disney would have given the money.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but anyway.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, honestly, these kind of questions don't even play into that. Exactly. This is like a $200 million dollar movie project. So these kind of mistakes don't even happen. They have endless lands to fucking film on. They can just rent one island that is just national reserve and film on it for days if they want to.
Yeah,
this is meaning.
They filmed one scene on Skellig Island, which is
just to have
the most
milk.
sea
cow.
But not even before. But even before that, literally they just filmed one scene of Luke just stood there. That's all they filmed at that point. Just stood there. Skellig Island. Do you know how difficult it is to A, get there, B, film there, and C, rent it out to film there?
Mm.
Yeah. It's not £5 and a pack of cigarettes to the local ferryman. There's a lot of paperwork to go through with that sort of stuff. So,
especially with the Irishman.
Yeah.
Disney.
4 potatoes and a pint of Guinness, and you've got the island for a fucking month.
All right, so yes, we can agree that the camera angles do make your face look good when you have a flashlight very close to it. That's great. Okay.
Also, Kylo Ren can't really see what their face looks like at that distance, and what facial expressions they're doing to say they're ready for action. Scowling at the enemy.
See how that's relevant.
No, but this is what she's saying, because it shows the stance also shows their face to say that they are ready for action and everything like that. So it's that doesn't matter about your stance. What does this have to do about the fighting thing? Scowling is that's literally what she's talking about right now. So,
all right, let's go.
Around anymore, and of course, in the medium shot, you can see the hilt of the lightsaber. Remember I said it sells you the goods? Okay, this is what I mean.
Care.
This is the hero shot. This is on the movie poster. This is
so I was
shot
right.
that makes every kid in the playground want to be them when they're playing at lunchtime. And for that hero shot, you need the actor's face as large as you can make it in the frame, while also getting in the blade to provide
Dude,
dramatic
why is this
lighting,
brilliant?
But also, hey,
Like, this is
You
basic
keep
stuff.
bringing up
and
this point. You're
preferably
just saying the same
hilt.
thing over
the
and
hilt
over
is
again.
important for plot reasons
Yeah.
because, you know, it's the lightsaber of Luke Skywalker and yada yada, and we've been carrying it around for most of this movie. And
The hilt is important for plot reasons. Oh, okay, I'm not denying that. It's just a weird way of describing it.
That's a really nothing sentence.
Nobody was
I mean,
attached to
maybe-
these like
Okay,
lightsaber
maybe
hilts before that.
maybe if we were to better articulate what she's trying to say, maybe she's alluding to when Rey didn't want to accept the lightsaber, and now it's like she's accepting. Maybe that.
She didn't
well-
have any choice here. Like, did she?
Yeah,
Either
I,
she picks it up or she's murdered by Kylo Ren. That's her two choices.
Also, we're now getting close to like 3/4 of the way into this video, and she's not spoken about the actual fight. She's now talking about a hero shot in a trailer, and now she's talking about the hilt of the lightsaber being in the shot of a person standing still,
Wow.
which isn't part of the fight.
Great analysis. You have to show the sword in the camera. Like, oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Well, why did you decide
Well-
to like walk away from your microphone when you said that?
You can't hear me very well.
It sounds like
you
you're
switched microphones.
yeah. It sounds like you're at the other end of your house
Oh,
getting
really?
a beer,
Oh, now
it's
you're good.
better.
Now you're good.
and now it's better.
I'm just like having my head on my hand. I was like, oh, is she gonna say something relevant next? I'm just waiting.
Well, the lightsaber's in the shot, yes, and that's good because it's in the shot. Okay, yes, and anyway, that makes little kids in playgrounds want to be this character. Right, what's that got to do with the fight?
Maybe it's brilliant for marketing. I don't know. What's she trying to get at here? I just like, come on, get to your points.
Yeah, but that's not even the fight. This is not the fight. This is literally the build up. Not even the build up to the fight. This is just two people stood around at this point in time. At this point in time, the point we should talk about with Rey, there's already been a fight. So she's now skipped over the Kylo and Finn fight and said nothing about it, and has now gone on to Rey stood in the exact same position as Finn was. It's like, right, explain the fight, explain the couple of minutes in between Finn and Rey doing the exact same stance. That sort of, violent-y, action-y sort of scene. What would you call it? Maybe a fight scene? No, let's talk about how they stand. Because it's a hero shot.
She is kind of dragging on about the stances.
But it's a 12-minute video, and we're barreling towards the end of it, and we've not actually spoke about the fight. Or either
she's
of
just
the
talking about
fights.
No, she's talking about the stances about...
She talked about the stance for a couple of minutes, and now she's literally talking about the hero shot. Why? Why?
Yeah, we haven't...
What
actually gotten
is
to the...
the point of this video? The fight scene. What are you talking about? Everything other than the fight scene. Why do all these people who defend this trilogy never actually talk about the points they want to defend and talk utter bullshit about things that don't matter?
Yeah, for some reason, like
Fucking
she's
annoying.
like,
For 5 years. 5 years we've had this shit now. And it's exactly the same. I'm just so annoyed with it.
she went like through like the fact that like Rey just like fell from 4-story building length. The tree.
Yeah, she just... Yeah.
It was just like 2 seconds for that. It was like, nothing wrong with that. Let's carry on. Huh?
Kylo Ren really wanted all of that jazz. But it's not just that. It's not just Luke's saber. For anybody who's seen any of the earlier movies, it's
Jesus
also
Christ.
Anakin's saber. It is the most recognizable piece of kit in the entire Star Wars universe.
I don't
Get
care.
on with it!
You know,
Fucking care.
this is the part you're supposed to be paying attention to.
Yes!
Also, you can buy
Fine.
one for $39.99 and it lights up in
Shut up!
Do you guys remember when like
Chill!
in Return of the Jedi, Luke was like unable to fight Vader because he couldn't construct his own lightsaber, so he was like spending the entire movie searching for that saber that was lost in clouds, saying, "Oh wait, that wasn't there." He
No,
just
built
built
his own
himself a new one and then carried on like nothing happened.
Yeah, because it
just
took
a
over
weapon.
because it was nearly 3 years late. Well, not 3 years later, but like a year or so later.
year
and
later,
he spent
yeah.
time with Yoda,
Yeah.
building and learning stuff. But here's the thing: fucking get on with the talk about the fight. I do not give a shit about the fact that in Revenge of a New Hope, Episode 7, Return of the Jabba's Palace, there was a fucking blue lightsaber. I know. I watched the movies. Explain why the fight is bad.
I
but
know
also
what that
awesome.
is. I clapped. When
Yeah,
I saw
it's
that.
like we've all seen Star Wars. We all know that was Luke's lightsaber. You know why we know it was Luke Skywalker's lightsaber? Because during Force Awakens, they wouldn't shut the fuck up about it being his fucking lightsaber.
No, it's Rey's lightsaber now.
I don't give two flying fucks what that stupid British bint does with it, right? Explain this fight scene. I don't care if Luke Skywalker's lightsaber was 10 million miles long, made of platinum, and like had blackjack and hookers fucking dancing on it. I don't care. Just explain the fight scene.
Noises. So that's the hero stance. But the villain stance is equally brilliant from a character point of view.
Oh,
I
All
want
he's
to
doing
die.
is standing there.
I just want to fucking die. Fucking get. I swear to God, talking about the fight.
I'm this close to slamming my fucking balls in a waffle iron and screaming racial slurs at the
don't
top
say
of my
no.
lungs.
What?
I've never heard that. That was great.
Just want to talk about the fight scene. Why is that
anyway, the
so hard?
brilliant part about the fight was the defense stances. Both.
They didn't even. She just said these are defense stances. Anyway, this stance they did is bad, but it's great because it's a hero shot. Okay, great. Now the villain stance. I don't care. Just tell me about the fight scene. Why does the fight scene not do it?
So like the first 10 seconds of the fight was just the only brilliant part. Nothing else. Why do you even have a fight there?
I'm gonna cry and laugh and fucking kill myself. Oh my God.
It is sloppy. His lightsaber is just hanging there by his side. He is a hot mess. That's perfect. That is exactly what the movie needs you to know about Kylo
Yeah,
Ren.
yeah.
He
Why?
doesn't take a stance.
Yes,
He trained
fine.
with Luke. He
Don't
knows how
care.
to use a lightsaber. He's not a
Fine.
scrapper. He's
Spin.
self-taught on.
Oh, go fuck.
Spin on. No, don't pause. Spin on. Spin on. Let's actually get to a fight. Oh, it's a fight scene.
A press-ganged former stormtrooper like Finn. He knows what a lightsaber is and how to use one. Yeah? But that fact is less important than what the movie really wants you to know about Kylo Ren. And I know they really want you to know because they
don't
emphasize
care.
it with the chest beating and the
Say
blood
it.
on the ground and the fact that he breaks off in the middle of a fight when he could have had the kill. Kylo Ren is much more badly hurt than he would like to let on to our heroes. Kylo Ren
Yes,
may know how you're
okay.
supposed to stand with a lightsaber, but that would hurt, and also he'd rather do his own thing.
But that would
Yes.
hurt.
Yeah, we get it. You got shot. That's fine. Talk about the fight scene.
But that would hurt. What?
Yeah, he got shot by a bowcaster. He should actually be dead. But let's
just have
talk about the
Kylo
fight
Ren-
scene.
Let's just have Kylo Ren act like fucking Donkey Kong and then lose the fight. Brilliant.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
Well, the other argument to that is that because he's getting hurt, this is a good thing for a Sith. He gets more power, he has more emotions to work with, to channel into the Force.
Yeah.
Get the Zenkai boost.
He's just killed his dad as well.
It's a Zenkai boost.
I'm literally thinking we're going to get to the end of this video and she's not going to mention the fight scene at all, is she? And I will have wasted. Will have wasted 2 hours of my life.
You know,
Listen
that
to
fight
this
scene is
fucking-
kind of like Marmite, like it's in the customs taste. Yeah.
Shut up.
It's not like Marmite. People actually
Wait a minute.
like
Wait a
Marmite.
minute. Wait, how long is this video?
12 minutes.
12 minutes.
We
We're
have been
2/3
through,
done.
like,
And how long has it taken us?
An hour and 20
about an
minutes.
This is fucking sick.
That's actually pretty good considering how long we usually go, but, you know, we're half
Yeah,
done.
but there's nothing.
I know, but she's
Literally,
not even
how-
talking
how-
about the fight.
Yeah, half of this video has just been me ranting about the fact she's not talking about the
Like
fight.
an hour and a half into our analysis, and she's like, "Now we're gonna talk about this other stance."
No, she's not yet. But yeah, no, she's not. Now she's not even talking about his stance. Now she's saying this is
Have
what.
you
This is what
considered
it's
that
meant to show.
Kylo couldn't hold his sword right because he got shot in the chest, and
Yes,
he
because we did. Because we
and
saw the
it's
movie.
intimidating, and they don't know how to use the lightsaber. Like, okay, I don't fucking care about your nothing burger of a video, you stupid ginger soulless fuck.
Well, she's getting there, I hope.
I hope.
Because he's
She's having-
dang it. And this carries over into his
He's
fight
a
style, which
maverick.
is aggressive, but it's also inconsistent, impulsive, sadistic even.
Uh-huh.
And communicating this to the audience is much more important than him using proper guards. If this
Why?
Dude, you're not explaining why.
You don't think it's
Also,
important to
that's-
communicate to the audience that he knows what the fuck he's doing?
Also,
Right,
yeah,
so what you're saying is, I learned all this choreography stuff, but fuck choreography, just swing a stick wildly because that looks amazing because it's
Yokai,
more
do you
important
remember-
to say that he swings.
Yokai, do you remember what I said earlier? You need a balance of proper mechanical function of a fight scene, and dare I say it, emotional resonance.
Yeah, but
You
here's
need
the
a balanced
thing.
story with
this
mechanics.
Yes, but him being impulsive doesn't suit the story. That's my point.
Exactly. They're failing on both ends. Fuck.
Yeah.
They just took that scale where they needed to achieve perfect balance, yeeted that out the window, and said, "Stop hindering my creative vision."
Yeah.
Here's Cool Man 229. Thank you, sir. He's just standing there menacingly.
He's standing there
It's just
menacingly.
yeah.
I really hate every single thing about this woman. I just
Do you?
So I'll be honest, it isn't that bad.
Yeah.
We've had worse.
no. This is 5 years of listening to the same shit. I hate all.
This is
Star
really
Wars
just
defenders.
5 years of catharsis for Hawk right now.
Yeah, this is literally just like, you know what? These people are idiots.
This
and
poor
they have
woman is
nothing.
just bearing the brunt of 5 years of pent-up
Mhm.
rage from a angry
Mhm.
Britishman.
Yep.
Well, there are different
is
kinds of pontificating
so
which we can
worthless.
tolerate. This is, at least it's related to the topic, and it's not like Maggie May Fish off to the side, sort of.
Have you ever considered that
Oh, yeah,
RoboCop
at
is
least-
trans?
Hobby
I'm
Lobby
wondering
stuff
if
in
the-
reproductive
yeah.
life.
You
Right.
have not
Maybe the
wished death on
lightsaber
this.
is
You have not
trans.
wished death on this woman yet, which is more than you can say for Maggie.
Yeah, that is true.
Well,
Twice,
she
actually.
does stand in front of a green thing, so unless there's a door, we know the connection.
Yeah, remember how
Oh,
Maggie
please
had
don't talk about it.
a fake, what was it, a fireplace, just so you could destroy it on camera?
No, so she could destroy it in the most weirdly worst way possible. Yes, I do remember that.
We were like,
the fact
what
that she
the
couldn't
hell is
rip off
that?
a snowman
What
decoration.
was that back? Why did you have this cheap background? What was the point of that? Then we figure, oh,
Why is her fireplace made out of cardboard and the fire just a GIF?
People just get pulled into these weird communities.
This guy stinks!
But hey, at least we're talking about an actual bit of fighting now, not just stances. So
So I
Yeah.
don't mind using visuals for characterization and to explain someone's character. That's great. But that is
It's great when you don't fuck it up.
a secondary statement to make over this concept, which is, why is the fight bad or brilliant? Telling us he wears a certain clothing or looks a certain way is fine, but that's all visual and it's very easy to pick up on. We need to know what makes this thing work.
he was dressed in blacks. He was dressed in black, and everyone knows that blacks are good with sword-like weapons. So the fight is amazing. There, done. Give me money, Patreon.
All right.
Oh, sorry, hang on. Give me money, Patreon. Also, down with capitalism, whatever. Yeah.
Story requires it, or would be made better by it. Character over technique. Every time. That is not to say...
No!
that
No! Balance! You need a balance of the two! You fuck!
Mm-hmm.
Character over technique. You need a balance. If your fight scene does not work mechanically, everything will fall flat because there are no stakes.
Beyond that, though. But this is beyond that, though, because the character doesn't even suit the story.
Yeah,
so
but
like you said earlier, they're filling on both ends.
Can still be the character.
When we're talking about characterization, yes, but that's the problem with Kylo. He's not showing any real technique.
Well, it's like I always think of, because obviously I was sat down and watched.
Yeah, but her argument is that it's great that he's not showing technique. Mark, she's like, he's being impulsive. Yeah, it's great. Yeah,
but Mark, Griffith's technique is a big part of his character, and it tells you a lot about his character, doesn't it? So that's why it's done well. With this, Kylo's just swinging randomly, and it's like, but that's not his character. Because we've seen how his character acts beforehand.
Does it hurt?
I mean, we saw him get really mad and destroy that computer room at one time.
Oh, I hated that scene. You see the lightsaber bounce off the console. You're like, what the?
Yeah.
He has like a constant.
I'm talking about the first scene we see him in, which is what made most. He went from that to something else, and it's just like, right, okay.
Oh, the first scene where he just kills an old man because, I'm so menacing.
Yeah? What, you never kill an old man, Zach?
On the weekends.
All the time.
But what I'm saying is, the way he fights with that doesn't feel like the way he would have actually fought in that situation, especially with everything that's happened. It just seemed like he was really in control of the situation, all the way, really, even while injured. And then somehow it just all went in Rey's favour because they had to make him more.
Well, how else are we going to empower a strong female character?
Yeah.
I'm really contemplating killing myself right now because this video is really doing me in.
Die!
People improvising sequences, but that's a whole other story. Kylo seems to ignore excellent opportunities to end the fight quickly, despite the fact that he's really injured and probably in need of a lie down because of his injury, because he's toying with Finn, who's only picked up a lightsaber once, bit of both. And after he incapacitates Finn by stabbing him in the shoulder,
that was the second time picking up the lightsaber.
Kill him. He punches him and then he slices him up the back in a move that could have been immediately fatal, but isn't. And so from Kylo Ren's perspective, Finn is just gonna bleed out, paralyzed, on the snow.
It's only not fatal because of the script.
If you slice someone's spine, they're going to die, okay? I don't think he's too concerned about the fate of the guy he just defeated.
Yeah, he's like, I've just done a kill shot. Anyway, moving on. It's like, Finn is only alive because of the script. And that's it. I like Finn. I have many friends like him, but he is dead. No, a spineless.
I still hold to the opinion that if Luke Skywalker showed up in the forest when Finn was done for, that would have made much more sense. But that's just too fan service, I guess.
That was what Mark said when he was talking about the script.
Yes, exactly.
That would have been cool. That would have been like, oh my god, it's Luke. And then Kylo's going to have a conniption, and then he just stands there, and then of course
oh my god, it's just like, oh my god, that was amazing. And then Ryan could have ruined it in a different way.
Ryan could have ruined it a different way. That's great.
Yep. Yep.
So, anyway, she's just brushed over the Finn and Kylo fight. So,
2 minutes left.
All right, let's go.
He is. This is what the fight is trying to emphasize for Kylo Ren. He is a bad person, a malicious, demented sadist. If you can take the opportunity to underline that, then you should. Because if he wasn't such an awful person,
he's a malicious
then there would be no
sadist,
need-
Wait,
and
wait.
it made all you SJWs wet your pants.
How is he a sadist? He doesn't torture Finn. He doesn't torture Ray. He doesn't kill them.
He
I think you
tortured
could
Poe.
possibly make the argument that he tortured Finn when he stabbed him with the crossguard.
He
Yeah,
tortured Poe Dameron in the beginning of the movie.
Yes,
you
definitely,
can
definitely.
you can make the argument that he's a torture happy,
But not through
certainly
fighting. He was just trying to win the
just-
fight.
Yeah, I just want to also point out that these people literally call Kylo all these things, and that makes them so wet that they all became shippers. And I'm like, that really does say a lot about you, and it does actually explain your videos.
Oh boy, Jesus.
God, he's a murdering, psychopathic, sadist, manlet idiot. God, I've never been so attracted to anyone in my life. And you're like, oh, for fuck's sake. Stab me with your laser sword, Kylo.
Okay.
I think by now, you can tell that I don't give a shit about this video anymore.
What? Really?
Oh boy.
to redeem him. I would there. Honestly, I'm just getting warmed up. Consider the weird way.
You're just getting warmed up 3/4 of the way through your video?
This tells us
You've got a minute and a half
When we first
left.
start, the Finn is not terrible with a lightsaber. He's no match for someone trained.
Yeah, he is.
Even if that person
He's
is
pretty
injured.
terrible.
And for example,
pretty
here
terrible.
you can see he hasn't quite figured out how you're supposed to parry with it. But for someone who canonically see the
Oh, so he's terrible then.
novel, learn to fight with a
No!
mace and
No!
shield.
No!
I don't care. I don't care.
No! 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 No!
The uninitiated.
Absolutely
Don't
care.
talk about books.
Irrelevant.
True story. I was hilariously bad the first time I tried HEMA, which was last year. At
Yeah, no
the
shit,
Fan
everybody is!
Convention. They handed me
Shut up!
and so I stood there.
Shut up! No one cares about your boring life! Shut the fuck up! Move on!
But I'm not sure how to get it there efficiently. It was a bruising afternoon. Let's put it like that.
Oh, I will bruise you in a minute!
Afternoon.
Overhead strike. Try to parry. Try to parry. Ah! Overhead strike. Parry a bit more effectively. But still. Ah! And that helps establish Kylo Ren.
Well,
as
I know
formidable
what will
as
convince people to like this scene. I'm just gonna narrate it.
Overhead parry, yes, we can see that. Overhead
Job
parry,
done.
yes, we can see that. How is that bad? He's trying
I'm gonna
to just...
narrate it, and it's gonna be good, and we're gonna talk about the scene, and it's good. Nailed it. Subscribe to my Patreon.
is crazy and helps to establish Finn as someone who's brave and resourceful, just completely out of his depth. Then look at Rey.
Yeah, like,
Rey, we know
is
from
that the
earlier in the
other
film, is
scene?
used to fighting with what is basically a quarterstaff, so no cutting edges, but you can do a lot of damage with it. If
Sword
you
like
put it
weapon.
on
Oh,
the
shut
sword.
up.
No,
The sword like
weapon! We were so close! We were so
No,
close!
God! Oh my God, lady! Have you? I swear to God, the only thing I want to do is garrot you.
Did
right
she just
now.
go into a Mary
Fucking-
Sue defense?
Yeah.
She's good with a quarterstaff, which
Quarterstaff,
means
yeah.
she can fight lightsaber.
Did she say that? Like, I didn't hear the sentence.
She's good. She's good with a quarterstaff. Yeah.
But like,
Which
this is
isn't
like
a
ridiculous from
lightsaber.
someone who actually learned like some martial art. Like, the
These are all the same arguments we've been hearing since 2015.
but she
With the-
should
now
be
that they're
the
bringing up the
person who
quarterstaff.
would not make a statement like that.
Like, yeah, fighting with the staff. Same thing. We've been hearing that.
Sword like weapon.
Right.
This is all the same
Right.
stuff.
As a kid in the woods where I live, we used to find sticks and have stick sword fights. Doesn't mean
Same.
I can fucking fence, you know,
Yeah.
and do all these things. It's completely
totally.
different. If I went in a
Totally,
sword
mate.
fight, I'd probably have my head cut off straight away by someone who actually knew how to fight.
Nah. You had your experience, like you
Oh,
clashed.
sorry. Before they swung their sword, I just have to close my eyes and I get a power up.
Just say the force. That's the unlock, the cheat code.
Therefore, because I'm Rey
The force.
Skywalker.
I want
Gorgeous.
someone to make an edit where
The
when
Force
she
is just
closes
not-
her eyes, it adds the music from Mario when you get the star.
No.
No, that's just the first level. Yeah, that.
No.
Where
I'm
she's
just saying that
invincible.
should just be the music of all. No, it should be music for all of Star Wars.
Is anyone here like familiar with like those like old Jedi Academy games?
Yeah,
I I made like an
games
edit
with the
where
best
like
mods there are. What about them?
like you have like the campaign mode, and like every single time you unlock like a force power, it displays it as like a message. I made like an edit where like Rey unlocks a force mind trick and such.
Huh.
Yeah, it was just so fucking fitting. Like, she's just using it right away.
She just like got all the cheat codes, and
Yeah.
that was it. She's like literally the hacker of the Star Wars universe, and we're meant to root for her. And it's like, no,
I've
I
heard
really
a
want the
story
host
that like the
kicker.
Jedi can do this, so that means that I can just do it without even seeing it.
Yeah.
But that's different kind of beast.
All right, less than 2 minutes. Let's keep going.
And you can see that obviously she does not immediately grasp all of the possibilities of a weapon which is basically entirely made of cutting edge. So during the fight there is a move she does at least 3 times, which is this very kind of effortful stab. Like she's expecting it to be disabling,
really bad.
but she's also expecting to have to provide power behind it to make it so. Maybe because having fought with a quarterstaff her entire life, her reflex in this situation is to try and open out the distance by moving them back, by stabbing at them with the end of the staff. And not just getting them to move back, ideally disabling them at the same time. Character through fighting. Don't you love it? Basically what I'm saying is,
No, I don't.
like realistic movie fights as much as the next person, but the desire for realism or practicality or even looking really, really cool, for me, comes way, way below the desire to have this fight tell me things about the characters. Their past experiences, their current preoccupations, how they're feeling.
Doesn't
anything.
do anything
Because
at all.
if you're
I
not
watched this
doesn't
fight,
do any of
it
this.
wasn't
convey that,
doing any of this.
then
Wait, are we finishing?
feel like
Are we
yes.
finishing?
Potential.
Oh my god.
Video and you would like to
Thank the
listen to
Lord.
talking some more about stage combat.
No!
Will be
No, I wouldn't.
Oh
No,
no!
not
Look,
at all,
look,
no.
smart. The
No,
price
no.
is right.
What is that?
Yes.
Oh my
That was
god.
it. I can't. I knew I was watching the time bar, and I knew that was about to be it. I'm still in shock that that was it.
How to fight in a dress. Yeah, be a man. So anyway, carry on.
How to fight in a dress. Don't wear a dress in a fight. There we go. Nailed it.
The only thing that happens if you fight in a dress is your skirt goes up and your knickers get shown. That's about it. This was a terrible video, and whoever suggested it deserves literal torture. So, yeah, I've been saying that quite a lot to these last couple of videos.
Yeah, you have.
Surprisingly, because they have been bad. They've been
Vapid,
pretty bad.
tangential. Yeah, they're all over the place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but because the last one, either the people have been absolute cunts, or like this person doesn't actually know what they're on about, and they just wasted my time.
Well, they didn't understand the actual concepts of storytelling, like characterization, which you do anyway. And he's like, oh, yeah, this is how they're behaving based off their past historical references. We can look at and go, yep, this is how Kylo is. This is how Finn is. He doesn't have a skill level. He doesn't know how to wield a weapon, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we get it. It's obvious. We know. What about the topic you're trying to tell us is good or bad? So this is the avoidance of value, where they say it's good, and then let me talk about things of other nature, which I also like. Which
surrounding it, so it makes it sound like I'm talking about.
Like
anyway, this painting is really good. Now let me tell you about the masonry work of the room that we're stood in. It's like
it really accentuates this painting of a literal piece of shit.
I give the example of a nuclear bomb or ground zero where it's like, oh yeah, there's this huge crater where this town used to be, and then I built a little garden next to it. And it's really colorful. It's got some shrubbery and some flowers, and it really brings out the crater, the difference between the two. You're like, what?
It brings out the bloodstains in the crater.
Yeah. It's like this. What? This is what I mean.
No.
Like Star
Oh,
Wars sequel trilogy defenders literally have nothing.
Here you go, Smud.
And-
I got you a new emote.
Oh, that looks. What the hell is that? Oh, jeez.
Confidence.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like we've had. Oh god, we've had. Oh my god. Oh no. But we've had now what nearly 6 years of exact same bullshit, and they still keep coming out of it, and it's tiring.
I
It's really
I feel
tiring.
like having something wholesome like fish and chips, just something like I don't know, like risotto or just something just to calm myself down and just like okay, I need comfort food of
I think
some.
I'm gonna get some Chinese food tonight.
Yeah, something like that. Just to chill out.
Yeah, it's man, that was really bad. That was a lot. That was a nothing burger of a video.
Yeah.
And
I really don't like. I don't like shouting at Star Wars because I really don't care. But this made me angry because it really was just wasting time.
All right, well, let me read some super chats. We'll call it an evening because that was.
Oh,
Here's
praise the Lord.
Roxas Uzi again. Sorry for skipping your super chat. The last good thing to happen to Star Wars were the 2 Force Unleashed video games starring Vader's Secret Apprentice. I'm quite sure I said that one. Oh, sorry, wrong one.
Yes, you did say that one.
Sorry, that's the wrong one.
Royu.
Royu has ROS is ADHD the movie. It's ADD fans making videos.
I agree.
Yeah.
This entire sequel trilogy was just made by a fucking 12-year-old.
I honestly believe that this sequel trilogy wasn't actually planned out to be Star Wars.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. That's confirmed. It
And
was
then they
not
just-
planned out.
Well, it wasn't planned out, but I feel that they went, oh, we're making this thing. Oh, no one will watch this. What if we say it's Star Wars? Yes. We'll add Star Wars
Brilliant.
things into it. Because a lot of the Star Wars stuff is literally just bare minimum fan service. Do you know what I mean? It honestly feels like this series was literally, we don't want to make Star Wars, but it won't sell unless we add Star Wars to it. So that's what it feels like to me. But, hey,
Oh my god, I just realized why I don't like this lady. Like, I had an immediate aversion to this lady. She looks a little bit like one of my exes. She gives off the same vibe.
You just figured this out now?
Yeah, it was just something. It's something like repelling about this lady, and it was just like I can't quite nail it of why I don't like you or
This,
your face.
This implies some.
Zach's had that many exes
Well, no.
that he just can't remember all of them.
This implies repression. If it just dawns on you right now, it's like, oh god, that's what that reminds me of. It was that bad.
Yeah,
I
mean,
feel
yeah.
a disturbance. Something I haven't felt.
She doesn't
since-
remind me of my ex-wife. I'll give her that. She's got that going for her.
Oh well.
What a compliment.
Well,
I
you
gotta
know,
say
you
that
take the
to my
highs and the
next-
lows.
My next relationship that I'm in, I'm gonna be like, you know what? You don't remind me of my ex-wife. I'm gonna say that in bed. Just carry on like nothing happened.
Oh, by the way, is our stores open this week for you guys? I know that in Toronto we've had a few places,
Stores open?
No.
not
Stores?
restaurants.
No.
Though.
What sort of stores are we talking about here? Because
Non-essential.
no, they're still closed.
Yeah, there's a big
I'm
list.
more worried about. I'm more worried about the possibility of a new curfew for men in the UK.
I got my Twitter account
'Cause
back, but I have one
It's
strike.
now actually being talked about. So yeah, I don't know what's happening with stores and stuff in the UK.
Oh yeah, I knew
Stores
that.
were
So
never
I don't
really
know-
closed here in the U.S. Restaurants closed. The stores stayed open. You just had to wear a mask. They put like sanitization stations.
Non-essential stores.
Right.
No,
So,
like all
not
stores
like
were open.
supermarkets.
every store was open.
All right.
Wow.
That's New York, right?
Yeah, I'm in New York, and yeah, every store was open. A few restaurants closed.
Well, to be honest with you, you were fine. Your whatever it was just murdering people in old people's homes, so you were fine to go to stores. Anyway, yeah, but in the UK now, I don't know what's happening with stores and stuff. I keep getting adverts on my email saying we're looking forward to opening on April 27th, and literally the council wordings are things will be closed until July, and it's like, oh, these businesses are gonna
like why are these businesses? Why are any business? I just don't understand the UK at all.
Well, the problem is the actual Westminster government is saying we want to open things as soon as possible, but secretly they've given new powers to local councils to keep things closed up for as long as they want.
That just doesn't make sense. Why would you close any stores? It's up to a personal responsibility to avoid the plague.
No, the government in some places have more power over people. Like they just like pretty much like did that like here since November. I can't even go to a gym. Like, because like all of them have to be closed down.
The gyms are closed.
You can't. They're even closing virtual gyms.
Wait, what?
So, yeah, a guy was doing a virtual gym from like his gym, as in like, so he was there using the machines and stuff on a Zoom call, and they asked him to close it down because he could spread COVID.
But that's his own property. Only him himself is using it.
I didn't say it made sense. I'm just telling you what we did.
Did he say no?
No, he closed down because they threatened him to handcuff him and take him to the cells and everything. So he said,
"Oh, freedom."
So, yeah. Well, people have to wear masks on Zoom calls in the UK because COVID can spread through Zoom calls. So
freedom.
We had some really dumb openings this week. Apparently, 50% of supermarkets are open, so provided they sell groceries. Same with like grocery stores and convenience stores and corner stores, that sort of thing. Some retail stores were open. Like
we had all that. Anything that sold food, you could open.
Except restaurants and food courts.
Except restaurants, yeah. Go on, Zach. What were you going to say?
I got nothing, man. You're good.
Some places like public parks were open, ice rinks, that sort of thing.
Oh, good.
So you want to go tobogganing? You go tobogganing.
We could go to the park and then have people complain that other people were using the park.
Good. It's good. Freedom. Everybody.
So we're slowly opening up, but not enough for me to go downtown and
Yeah.
sit at a bar.
What was the best one? The best one was the beaches. The beaches were packed. They asked this person who was complaining, and the reason this person was complaining was, there's too many people here. I thought I'd be the only one here, so I'm complaining that there's people here. It's like, all right, okay. Not because of COVID. It's because you thought that no one else would turn up. So yeah, but yay, lockdown, it's cool.
All right, folks. Well, that was a pretty quick video. Wasn't that painful? It was just kind of silly. So.
Okay.
All right. So thank you for the suggestions. Keep them coming. We're always voting on new ones and slowly adding to the list. We want to get rid of the older ones first, of course, but we don't know until we get the ideas. So keep the suggestions coming. Keep voting on them as well. And we'll talk to you guys real soon. I believe we're doing some special stuff as well as Smud Talks on the weekend. I don't know what exactly, but I will keep you appraised.
Okay.
So
you got a magic one coming up, don't you?
A magic one, and I believe a beer one. I don't know. Yeah.
Ooh.
So I have to find out.
When will you have a Smud Talk about pizza and Italian food?
Pizza and Italian food? Oh, that's going to take a while if I start talking about
Pizza time.
Oh.
Pizza and tiramisu.
Zach,
what's going on? No. What was that about? Anyway, no. Yeah, that would take a while. I'd have to, talk to our local food expert Tanuki. I'm sure he has lots to say about making pizza because he makes everything.
Oh yeah, the guys.
Gotta bring
bye,
him on.
Yokai.
So yeah, no, we
Oh.
might do that, but definitely beer and magic. Yeah. So just not sure when exactly, but anyway,
Magical beer.
Magic and beer.
magic and beer.
Magical beer.
That's
Oh.
not a good idea.
Magical beer.
That sounds dangerous.
It sounds dangerous, but also
It's
fun.
the beer from Thor Ragnarok where Doctor Strange just refills the
Oh
beer
yeah, that
glass.
was so cool. I was like, oh, I want one of those.
Yeah, I love that scene. That was great.
Oh.
Thor
Anyway,
Ragnarok's a good movie. You guys should go watch it.
thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you guys real soon. Have a great night, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.